Welcome to the show. Bass and Bonsai was just out on the water yesterday. We're back in the house tonight. And I wanted to share a few things and tell you what's going on with these two rod and reel combos. Then we got a little score that we picked up at Rogers tonight. Just so we didn't make it into a dry run. We had to get something right. So anyway, here we go. I just finished editing the footage and got a video working on coming out tomorrow on last night when I had these two rod and reel combos out. We mainly caught them on the Destroyer because I was throwing it more. If you guys haven't watched the videos on the Poison Adrena, already kind of proven itself as being a capable, all-around, fun rod reel, or rod. With the Steez Limited, right? It's full bougie. It's like full metal jacket type thing, right? So I went to a place. Bite was not that great. We had to work for the bites, but we did get some bites on several different baits. So make sure and watch that video. So on the Poison Adrena, and I'm just, I've talked about it right off the get-go. I could tell the minute I picked up and put this, that's the Super Destroyer, in my hands, that the megabass with that one, I don't know if the cork, it's probably not going to feel as comfortable as the Adrena, but it would be closer on the grip factor. The Poison Adrenas have soft touch here and here. Like this is all almost feels like the same material, and it's got the I'm not even sure what they call that, perfection reel seat, I think. But this thing just feels very good. Like in hand, I definitely prefer this reel seat over the Destroyer. I will admit the Destroyer probably looks better, but this one looks just fine. And I think that is actually designed to be a place to hook. I just started using it to hook, and I watched a YouTuber, somebody else, I can't remember who it was, but said, "Oh, here's where you put it." Like did a little short on it. So I've started basically any hook or your snaps or whatever will stick right there. Will it end up scratching, tearing us up? Who knows, right? But it definitely don't click them on here like most people want to do. They want to put a bait right there. That is a big no-no to tear this up real fast. Anyway, this rod and reel combo, love it. I'm still trying to make myself love this thing. For me, honestly, I think it's a little stiff for even. I think it's capable, as you'll see in the videos coming out tomorrow. You can fish several different baits and still catch fish, but it's just the Super Destroyer is like a heavy action, and in my opinion, I don't think it's got the flex people try to say it has. And you just have to watch the footage. It's an awesome rod. If I decide to keep it, it's probably going to go straight up jig, maybe, bottom bouncing. Like, I don't think I'm going to try to throw, and probably turn in a frog rod, honestly. It's definitely kind of like what I used to, when I threw just the big jackhammers. So maybe for your regular, big jackhammers, sorry. When I threw just the big chatterbaits, the Z-Man Originals with that big honking hook, I threw rods more stiff close to this than what I do now. Less forgiving. But I mean, it'll work. But man, the fun factor and the overall feel, the ergonomics of it, this is just a touch. This is slick unless you, if you have anywhere near dry hands, which I typically do, you're not going to hardly be able to hold on to this thing. You will have the fear of throwing it right out of your hands. It's not the easiest thing to hold on to. It's got a very small trigger and it's slick. I'm just telling you guys, if you get into this, like I think it's this one and the Mad Bull have this. The cork may help. This is kind of shorter. If you guys heard me talk about this on AliExpress one, see how when I grab it. Now the Adrena is not much better. I'll show you it. So when I grab it to cast, I'm already like my hands passed on the handle. Like right now, I feel I've got a good grip on it, but I don't know. You just get out on the water, and there's different times where you're feeling you're not really got the best grip on that rod. So it's a possibility I'll put like one of those bicycle cork tape wraps on it. Now the Adrena, it's kind of the same way. but where I guess it's a smoother transition where it does end. It just kind of goes into like you almost can't tell. It just kind of feels like the grip's just getting shorter. It doesn't have that abrupt change. And then all this is like a grippy feel, so it just feels more secure when you're during casting. It just feels like you got a way better hold on the rod than with the destroyer. But as far as sensitivity, hands down, I don't think that there's much out there that can touch the sensitivity of these destroyers. Or, yeah, the P5 destroyers. They're very sensitive, and it does have a, it's hard to explain. It does have almost two actions to it kind of feel, but they're both like stiffer than I would like. Like, uh, I I would call it even beyond a heavy in my opinion, but it is very good, I think, anyway, for like, and it's been touted as like for a dock skipping, jigs, all around like that on the high end. So I don't know. I may keep it, I may not. I'm being honest. This rod does not have me near as excited. That sounded weird. As the Adrena rod does. The Poison Adrena just feels, and you'll see in the video, the fun factor when you are catching fish. Like I feel, unless you're on some big 3 to 5 pounders or bigger, the fun factor in that destroyer is probably not what it is going to be with the Adrena. But I was up at Rogers tonight, and you'll see with the stuff I got. But I was, up there checking the rods again. The I don't know. It's just like I definitely am a fan of the actions of these rods. They have a 7.2 or no 7.3 medium heavy that I think if it wasn't for the fact that it's 7'2" and not a little bit shorter, that rod feels good. I think that rod would be awesome. Jig, chatterbait, like I think it would be a better all-around rod than that Super Destroyer I ever thought about being. It's not going to be as sensitive, I wouldn't think. And I honestly think just by what this rod is, the closest thing that comes to this 6'11" medium plus would be the 6'11". It's the 110 special from the P5. So if I could, and I'm not going to buy one, but if I could get my hands on one of those and compare them, I could give like a better, that would be a more better, would be a better, overall action and fun factor of the baits we were throwing and the size of fish you're catching or that kind of stuff. But this rod has me wanting to buy more of the Shimano Jackal Poison Adrenas, and the P5 Super Destroyer has me never wanting to think about buying any more megabass destroyer rods. Just in the kind of the, I don't even know what you would call it. I think it's, especially now you guys know how I am, right? If you follow the channel, I fish with braid, so therefore sensitivity, although a touch on the important side, it's not the most important thing. Overall feel, and then I don't tournament fish, so I want to catch every fish. Especially if I feel something big, I want to get it in. But I want to also have fun while I'm out fishing. I know day in and day out, as you guys have seen, I'm catching dinks way more than I'm catching those 5 and 6 pounders or 4 pounders or whatever. And it just makes it way more fun. Try to catch the biggest fish possible on the lightest gear possible, but get the hook sets. And I found that the funnest way is with BFS gear, but just there's times when you're outnumbered, but B, sometimes the best bite and the majority of, to catch more fish or cover more water isn't with BFS. You're going to actually not only just land more, but you're going to get out moving around and cover more water and catch more fish by going with standard gear over BFS. Now, once the bite gets tough or in certain situations, yes, BFS has its time and place. So anyway, on with this because I'm gonna keep it short. I gotta go to bed. I gotta get up early in the morning. I gotta get up early every morning because I'm a moron. I work 5 days a week, and on the weekends, you know what I do? I get up early to go fishing. It's about that time. It gets daylight about 6:30. It's about a 40-minute drive to my closest spots. Good spots I fish, and about an hour and a half drive close to it to get down to Charles and some of the honey holes, and just regular places all over. Takes a little while. So if it gets daylight, and then it's only gonna get sun's going to come up earlier and earlier as the summer goes. We've got to get up earlier and earlier. So if you guys remember right, and I didn't even plan that. That one's just sitting there that I re-glued. That color we've been liking, and that's the Baby Ray's Menace in the green pumpkin. And they don't even call it a fancy name. It's green pumpkin, purple and gold flake. And that's exactly what it is. It's green pumpkin bait with purple and gold flake in it. And that has been doing pretty good. So, after watching Matt smack him on also baby brush hogs the other day, and he didn't have this color. And this is the closest they had up at Rogers anyway. I picked up some baby brush hogs in the green pumpkin magic, which isn't very far off. You guys look. That's not a long ways off. I may not have any or as much purple, but that color should be a good color also. So I'm gonna venture for, and I think I bought some. I know I bought some lizards one day last year, and I sold them right to Matt because he had some tournament and he was out of something. So anyway, I don't know when the last time I've actually bought some baby brush hogs and fished them. I fished them and the regular ones several years back. You guys know the deal. But also while I was up at Rogers, and because I'm also going to try and be looking forward to me and trying to rig these up a few different ways. I may just take this out, I'd like break that off and run line through there. But what I'm going to try to rig up with these little cheap dudes is a sort of a free rig. I keep hearing about free rig, and I'm like, dude, it's basically just Texas rig without pegging the deal, right? I mean, it's not far off of it. I know what you guys are going to say. No, it's not the same, but it's almost the same. But for me that uses the snaps, I've always just stayed away from Texas rig and stuff. I just started using the wobble head, broken neck deal, biffle head kind of deal, or shaky head or whatever. But what I'm going to try to do is take the theory behind the free rig and rig these up on a snap to where I can snap them in front of my snap on the line sliding, and then snap a hook on, and then just go to doing free rigging, Texas rigging / whatever, to where I don't have to cut and retie on my leader type stuff. Anyway, it's a work that's going to be in progress. Stay tuned for that. It popped in my head today, and I'm like, I'm going to try it. And I'll probably do that by either just putting a snap on this, or maybe cutting that off and tying a snap, or some kind of device that will let me be able to go over my line with one of these, like what a free rig does. So, but I'll still have a small, a snap to where I can change out hooks, sizes to different size baits, and weights of the thing, all with still having the original leader tied on in a very short process of time. Just so I can let the knot wear enough that it'll break off on a big fish, even though I have my drag set loose. I know, it's been one of those days, guys. So I picked up this bait at Rogers just to try, because I'd been wanting to try that crazy bug they got, right? Green Pumpkin Smash in their Terror Crawl. Now this crawl is going to look familiar to some of you guys, and to others you'll be like, what is it? It is pretty much what this is, in a weird version. So you basically have, it's longer, but it's about almost as big around, and it's got bigger flappies things, right? But it's in that kind of the same color, but it has everything on it. They also have another color. Oh boy, I can't remember the name of it. The Strike King makes their Rage Worm or whatever, honey something color, which is basically this, but instead of purple, it's blue and gold flake on green pumpkin. Honey, it's not honey hole, it's honey something, I don't know. But then this color, and it's not so much even the body, because the body's kind of darkened up, but those flaps, and then when you get them in the light, I think this is also a bait that would work good if you want something a little bit bigger on the back of your chatterbait, maybe even rigged by itself, almost like a punch bait type thing. So I'm anxious to try it out. I was gonna buy some the other day, but then now that I've got a color that I think may work, so you could run this one. This would probably work good because you can run it all the way up on a chatterbait. Leave that appendage on there. So yeah, you could. I don't know. A guy could probably just rig it up in the middle and let it float down. Almost just try it wacky rigged the way this, because this would definitely be some fluttering, and these would be moving. Possibilities are endless, and you get 24 of them for $6. Hopefully they work, or I'm gonna have a lot of these packs a lot of dead weight, right? So lastly, secret weapon. I didn't even know they had this. I've been walking in and out of Rogers now for I don't know how long that they've had these house baits where they put their name on it. You know, they used to just have some cheap stuff that it technically was their house stuff, but they didn't really have their own packaging and all their own stuff. I don't know how long they've been doing that, but then this bait, because this bait was not over there. It was more actually by the crappie stuff. But they've got two sizes. I got the smaller. Probably should have got a 110 also. But they got it in like one of my favorite hard bait colors going this month. The flavor of the season of the month kind of deal. But this dude right here, they call it a Hog Hustler 90. Now I know what you're thinking. It looks a lot like a Whopper Plopper, but it's different. It's a little different. It's called a Hog Hustler 90. Kind of like the Whopper Plopper 90. And they got a 110 that's kind of like the Whopper Plopper 110. But no, they're not knockoffs, right? Only AliExpress can you get knockoffs. Only AliExpress. Bass Pro Shops, they don't knock off anybody else's stuff. Rogers don't. Nobody does. But anyway, and I don't know how well this will work compared to, should be, if it's anything like an AliExpress bait, should be a dead ringer. But that is like their Elegy Bone, Pro Bone Blue kind of deal. So I just picked up one. Charles was tearing me up. Charles starts out like on this crazy kick, and I remember he did it last year, if you guys remember right. The first time I broke out we were doing a video on the Hellraiser. So first time I went out and fished the Hellraiser, Charles was showing me why the Whopper Plopper is so good, because basically the Hellraiser could not beat the little Whopper Plopper Charles had as far as just getting bit. And then twice now he started off the day, even not really the morning, just the day, because the topwater bite is going right now. The last 2 trips out we had. So I had to pick this dude up. A little bit of a rat. Oh, those hooks are sharp. Oh my God, I'm hooked. And both, I got 2 fingers hooked. So that little bait should work. I'll probably go ahead and get a 110 also. I just was gonna, I think I almost bought a black one. They have this. They have like 5 colors. This color, black, white, of course. Like a silvery one, and then they're crazy. I don't know, darkish colored. Maybe supposed to look like a bluegill or something. But I think I got the little one bright. I think I'm gonna get a black one, a little bit bigger, and then we'll just also be able to use it. I go to Rogers all the time. So yeah, I'm gonna get out. Who knows when? The bad weather is coming. It's turning cold starting tomorrow. Today, technically, I could have went if I'd have wanted to, but I was supposed to have other plans. Didn't make it. So it'll probably be next week sometime. It's gonna turn down into the like low 60s, mid 50s, and over the weekend about the same. I know typically about a month ago, if that, we were like waiting for those days, you know, we'd get out for 4 or 5 hours. But now that we're used to the 70s, we fished a few days. Yeah. So if you haven't watched, I got the videos. I don't even know when they're going to get edited. I caught gigantic one on the poison drain. I caught a ton on a spinnerbait. Videos haven't made it yet. But I wanted to rush this video that'll be out tomorrow. Kind of just getting out there with the destroyer, and you'll see the poison drain. I also catch a big fish on it again. so you guys can see that while it's fresh in your minds. But there's a lot of videos that like 3 weeks worth, weekends worth of fishing. There's me and Matt. I think it was me, Matt, and Hannah, or me, Matt, and Maddie. I think it's me, Matt, and Maddie. Maybe me, Matt, and Hannah too. Like 2 videos will be coming out from there. Me and Charles again at 2 different spots, tearing them up. Hot, sun's out, guns out. Even though it was an antique gun show, and then the next day was cold, nasty, horrible conditions that sucked. And that was this past Sunday. Charles tore me up. I managed some, but yeah, that was not. Oh God, I still think about it. That's cold day. Cold day. What else? Is that all we need to talk about? Yeah, that's it for now. So what I'm looking at doing, just a heads up. I don't know what time it'll go, and I may have mentioned before. If I keep the destroyer or not, because I may just, if I don't get the right offer on it, I'm just going to keep it, and because it is a hell of a rod for just what they said, like bottom contact, you know, on the heavier side, which is kind of what I really need. I just need to make myself keep it, but I could also sell it and get a poison adrenaline that would cover that, or an X Pride. Not be full on bougie, just be part bougie. But it is an awesome rod. I just don't know if it's got enough action for how I like to fish. But it can definitely bring home, as you'll see in the video that's coming out tomorrow, like just a hook set on a big stout hook. Yet I did manage to catch, I caught a fish probably not much bigger than this on the 1.0 ATV from Bill Lewis Lures, and then I proceeded to kept slapping the gunk off of it and broke the bill off of it. So those baits, although I think that little white oyster color one I got was definitely on fire one day, and it did catch a fish yesterday when the bite was tough. They're fragile. I feel you should be able to splash the bait into the water and not have it just fall to pieces, and the bill broke off just like it did on the Dig It. But they're out of stock at Rogers. When they come back in, I'm probably going to get the 1.0 again and a 1.5. I think I'm going to stay away, even though you'll see in this video, I did get on a little kick with the 2.5, the Lucky Craft one. If you guys remember, right, the bluegill colored one that actually has a knock to it, but I didn't pay the money for the knock. They'd packaged it wrong. You can get those with like a very subtle knock. They're called something different than what I bought, though. But anyway, I'm anxious to get out here, make me a free riggish type rig to where I don't have to, you know, rely on a wobble head. So it will be kind of free. And I can try it both ways because it's real simple. I could actually just clip this one of these on in the snap. I guess I should show you guys what I'm talking about doing. Hang on, let me get a snap. Snap, crackle, pop. Pop goes the weasel. Here's one. So let me describe what I'm talking about doing, and then we'll go on with something else. So what I'm talking about doing is simply using snaps, probably real little bitty ones, to actually hold that on. So, but what I could do, and let me just use the poison adrenaline since it's got the snap so easily accessible. Hello, Gus. You're the only one. Well, there's 4 of you guys watching. You guys will watch this tomorrow if you wake up. You guys are all old. You're all in bed already. I'm old too. I should be in bed. So what I want to be able to do is say if I'm, you know, I like the versatility of just grabbing and changing. I need to check that. I probably need to cut that off and change it. But so say I want to throw, whether it be this, baby brush hog, sweet beaver, whatever, and I want to throw it on a 3/0, 4/0, whatever hook. Now you could do it, you know, you could just throw one on there and be weightless kind of deal. But I want to have the ability to take and put a weight on, whether it be like a free rig or almost like a Texas style. So it's real simple, and let me take one of these out. Let's go with the 3/8. No, let's go 3/16. I just bought a couple sizes just to try. If it's something I really feel I get, you know, it's like, oh, this may work. I can get 1/8, quarter, 1/2 ounce, whatever. So it's real simple to. Do I have a hook anywhere? Oh my God, do I need to go grab a hook? You guys know what a hook looks like. So it'd be real simple to almost just kind of slide one of these on, then your hook, right? And then snap it on. So you've got the hook on and you got your weight there to help, kind of keep the bait nose down, and you're kind of dragging along almost like a Texas style is what you want if you're going through some gunk. Free rigs, and what I'm talking about here isn't for throwing it in, the nastiest, the gunkiest stuff or real heavy type grass. That's when you pretty much want a Texas rig only, or like an 1/8 ounce, 16th ounce shaky head wiggling something through there. I'm talking about just almost like open water where you could use a Texas rig, you could use a free rig, you could use a Carolina rig, or whatever. That kind of thing is just something I want to be able to have rigged up to where I could grab. So what my thoughts are is if I rig up something like this, basically with the snap, have them already rigged up with snaps of some sort. And so I don't even know how well this little guy would work. And I could use regular ones, but my thoughts were I could actually just tie on like regular line and then tie to these little snaps. Let me try to show you what I'm talking about over here. So let me open one of these. I'm going to try, ow. Okay, so let me try to open it this way. This is hard to work with. That's why you want them to be already pre-rigged. So you just pull it out of the box, but so all I'll do is, this is going to be hard to do with. Where'd that weight go? So basically I already have this. Go to your home. I would already have this on here. Like that, right? I've got these rigged up in my box, so I just grab one out and then I just snap it over the line. Now there's possibility that's going to get caught up in here and it won't do the free rig thing, which that's fine. It's down there dragging like whatchamacallit. They call that something else now too. Whatever that other style is. But anyway, you get the idea. And I could always work on doing something different to make it work. So then you hook a, whatever weightless, you got your hook on there, and then so in theory you got this like this, so you rear back and you cast, and it should, when it lands, this should take off, kind of work like a free rig. And it doesn't really matter if it sticks to this other snap and it's there, it's like that. It's still kind of like the whatever they call that other rig. But that's something I'm going to try. I already got one rigged up right here, so I will try it at some point. And then you could be like, oh well, it is a little bit of gunk, so we'll go ahead and leave it on. I don't want it, basically like it's almost sort of pegged, or you could, if you don't want it that long, and you could actually rig up some of these and run them a little longer, whether it be with short line tied on wire or whatever to a snap to where you run them up there, kind of deal. So anyway, I'm just going to try that. If I don't like it, I'll just go back to, I spent like $3 on those deals. If I don't like that, I'll just go back to my normal putting on my whether it be the Finesse Rugby Jig from VMC, or the Biffle Wobblehead, or several other companies make all those things now to where I can still go. Or I will just cut that line, tie on, put on I couldn't also make myself spend $20 for 10 of the tungsten, was it 1/4 ounce bullet sinkers I was going to buy. I was like, I've always just used lead. I used to get I still have a few, the red, just the painted red bullet weights. So anyway, any questions? Tokyo rig. That says that's a Tokyo rig. They are all copies of the old weight and sinker and hook rig. that wasn't invented way back when. I don't know when. So anyway, guys, be looking forward to the videos. I'm calling the one that's like a bougie edition. Probably my two most expensive combos I've ever bought, because I have bought very expensive. No, not really, because these aren't the most expensive. They're close. They're right there with it. I did have both. Oh, the NRX rods. So I had the NRX rods, which say they're, what are they, $600, 560. I had Aldebarans on them, so 3 something. So yeah, roughly what the Super Destroyer with that other. I got them used, so I don't have that much in them. But if you were to go buy a Steez Limited, you can get them on Digitaka still for like $550 something right at the moment. And then you bought the Super Destroyer or any P5s, they're $500. So you're talking, that's a lot of money. I don't have that much in it. Luckily, I got a good deal from Andrew. Thank you very much through Tackle Tour. That's another thing. If you guys just want to get something or try something and you don't want to buy new, Tackle Tour is still a good place. They've got forums and a buy-sell thing, and most guys on there are pretty cool to deal with. Or if you just want to know information to try to talk yourself in or out of something, Brew Tank. That's Tackle Tour is the best place for that higher end JDM stuff. But then Bass Boat Central is also another good place for bass, like everything, electronics, all that just general stuff. Not a bunch of JDM type things on there. Some guys are on there. Some guys are on both. If they're on Tackle Tour, they're on Bass Boat Central. A lot of guys. I was on those for years, and then I don't even go to Facebook hardly ever anymore. Charles will tag me in something like Average Joe's, BFS. You guys know the one. Some of you guys are on those also. Oh man, I've been so busy. Like I get home, edit videos, put them on YouTube. I will watch YouTube videos and like try to keep up on certain stuff. Yeah, got so much other stuff going on. Right? Oh, don't lose that. I'm a busy man. Penny for your thoughts. You guys doing the Andrew? You guys on Team McConaughey? Matthew McConaughey's doing some little thing of the 24th. Is that like in a couple days? Oh, it's going to change the world. I don't even know what he's going to talk about, but I keep seeing it pop up everywhere. So I had to join. It was free. Now I keep getting pop-ups every day. I'm like, all right, all right, all right, all right. That's enough of them pop-ups. But enough of that, guys. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Real quick little vid. And if and when I know for sure I'm going out again, I'll be putting together a video talking about that and what my plans are, what I'll be testing. The Wizard rods. Oh, lastly, I'll talk about those. I am going to try to get out and use those, but I'll be honest. Almost everything I own, except for the Steez Limiteds and the Poison Adrenaline Safe, the Destroyer, I'm not sure yet, is probably going to go bye-bye this season some point in time, get sent, packed away. I will probably be going with Poison Adrena, or if I can talk myself into the X-Prides, because I feel those are the best lineups going, especially me fishing in between that under 7 foot, above 6.5 foot. They do carry BFS in both the Adrena and the X-Pride Bs. They also do in the P5 lineup, but for $500 a rod, this Destroyer, Super Destroyer, didn't impress me enough to think that I need to mess with that line. But I will keep using it, and who knows, I may go out there, and when I actually get around, like when I'm with Matt, you guys remember the docks, and I get to skipping under docks, and more of a jig bite goes on, I may fall in love with that rod, and it'll be a different story in the next month or so. And I'm going to actually wait till I have not caught a chatterbait fish on it yet. Caught a spinnerbait fish, as you'll see tomorrow. Caught a squarebill fish, a jig fish. What else? I caught 4 different things on it, I think. No, wait, 2 different size squarebills is all. So, and they got it all in. I don't know if I missed a bite with either rod. And I actually snagged one with the Poison Adrena, as you'll see. And sensitivity is definitely through the roof. Like I would, not 100% sure because I don't remember. It's been a while since I've had the NRX rods. I would definitely put the P5 with the NRX over the Poison Adrena for just overall sensitivity. And some of that does have to do with once they get a little stiffer, they typically get a little more sensitive, even if the blank material is not overly so. But yeah, they crazy sensitive. You want a sensitive rod, you cannot go wrong with the P5s. That do have some give to them. That part is there, but overall, feel in hand and using it out on the water, it's not there yet for me. So get out, go bass and bonsai, but whatever you guys do, make sure you have fun doing it. I'm going to have fun taking a nap, not a dirt nap, not yet.